And this time of year, you can probably find a few friends locally who are out playing some cornhole, but do you play it competitively? Oh, you're going to say that, yes, it gets competitive, but no, do you play it competitively? Joining us today is a team from Itawama, Ace Rodgers, and he is a competitive cornhole player. Hey, Ace.
Hey.
How are you today?
Good.
Well, I'm excited to talk to you, buddy. I feel like you are rising to the top of this particular sport, and I think it's pretty cool. So when did you first start playing cornhole?
It was probably like 2 years ago, maybe. A year and a half, 2 years ago.
How were you introduced to the sport? Was it in a backyard, at maybe like a cookout? Where did you first get introduced to cornhole?
It was at a restaurant down here. It was called Legends.
Do you remember who you played first?
My dad.
Did you beat him?
Yes, ma'am.
Ha! Okay, so it's one thing to play cornhole and then beat your dad. When you must have had to play more than once or twice to realize that you were kind of good at it. So when did you
Yes,
start
ma'am.
to realize that maybe, you had a knack for it?
Uh-huh.
When did you start to realize you had a knack for it?
Probably like the third or fourth tournament.
Oh, so you hopped right into tournaments. So where was your first cornhole tournament?
Probably South Carolina, I think.
Well, that's not just in the backyard or in the local community. Who encouraged you, Ace, to maybe, stretch out and try some tournaments whenever it came to cornhole?
Probably my dad.
So he recognized that maybe you were better than the average bear when it came to it. Okay, so where all has it taken you? I know you've won the Mississippi Junior State Cornhole Player, or however you say it. So there's actually a league for it. What's the name of the league?
American Cornhole Organization.
And so you're in the juniors, correct?
And the singles.
Oh, okay. Good deal. And so you are ranked 27th in the world among junior competitors. How does that feel?
It could be better.
Spoken like a true competitor. What do you mean it could be better? I think it's pretty cool. 27 in the world is not bad.
I'd rather it be like fifth or first.
Well, I think you're having the opportunity to maybe get a little closer. I know you're headed, is it Las Vegas? Is that your next tournament? It's coming up quick?
Yes, ma'am.
So explain to us how the tournaments work. That's such a hard word for me today, Ace, but I'm going to figure it out. How do they work? Is it set up kind of like bracket style, or explain that to us?
Yes, ma'am. It's in a bracket.
How many competitors are usually in a tournament?
Couple hundred.
So how many matches would you have to go through, Ace, to get down to the winning match?
It just really depends on how many players.
What's the most you've played-ish to get to the winning match?
Probably like 8.
Okay. So I guess if you're good, then it sort of weeds out. You don't have to play as much.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you practice? How do you think about it? How do you improve your skill when it comes to cornhole?
I just try to, when I go to tournaments, I'll practice. I'll try to find, the best people and play against them to try to get me better.
What makes a good cornhole player?
Attitude.
Explain that.
You always got to have a good attitude. You can't go out there, mad or anything, because that's not going to help anything.
Well, cornhole will make you mad if you're getting into a friendly fire competition in the backyard, because it seems like you want the little sucker to go in the hole, but for whatever reason, you overshoot it too many or too over time. Is there a lot of skill, to it? You don't always want them to go in? Do you sometimes try to get it to the side? Are you very particular about where you want the beanbag to go?
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes you, block or you can roll or whatever.
Do your friends try to beat you at cornhole?
They try, but they ain't good enough.
Oh, I feel like you would be so unassuming just walking to a friendly restaurant or whatever, and kind of like a pool shark, right? You'd be like a cornhole shark. I think folks are interested in the fact that this is even a sport and that it can be picked up. I know ESPN plays tournaments and all the things. How high can you go in the world of cornhole? Can you be a professional with it, Ace?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you aspire to be a professional cornhole player?
I was close last year, but I didn't get it.
So what do you have to accomplish to get a professional card?
You got to get top 80.
In the world or I guess in terms of adults? Because you're
In the world.
27th. Okay. Good deal. So if you got to be professional, Ace, how many tournaments would you have to do in a year?
6, maybe.
Okay. That's not terrible. Well, if somebody thinks that they're good at this sport and they wanted to hop in and get competitive at it, what would they do, Ace? Is there a league they can join? How do they learn about American Cornhole Organization?
You can look it up. It's just AmericanCornholeOrganization.com, and it'll tell you a bunch about it.
Do you have friends that do it with you, or are you out there with just you and your dad?
Yes, ma'am. I have friends.
Who's going to
Yeah,
Vegas
all
with
over
you?
I have.
Oh, okay. Making the friendships.
Yes, ma'am.
When do you head to Vegas?
April 6th, and I'll come back the 10th.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I know you're a freshman right now at Itawamba High School. Is there cornhole college teams? I don't know that, Ace. That may be a question. Can you go to college and play cornhole?
Not here, no, but we're trying to get it.
Where are you wanting to go to college?
Mississippi State.
All right. Well, here's your plea to Mississippi State. They listen all the time to good things, Ace. We need to tell them, the athletic director, that they need a cornhole team. And how many's on a team if you have a team?
2.
Oh, that's it? So we got half their team. So you would be, what year do you graduate high school?
2026.
All right. So in 2027, they can have their first cornhole team. We got half of it already there. And then, they'd be looking up. They could start something new here in Mississippi. Do any high schools offer it as a sport yet, or 4-H or anything like that?
Some schools do, but mine don't.
Gotcha. All righty.
But
Well,
they're trying to get it, so.
well, I think you're doing a good job of putting Mississippi on the map with cornhole. And we're wishing you all the best in Vegas. You'll have to let us know how that turns out, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty, Ace. Well, good luck to you. Do you have like a name or anything in the cornhole world, or is it not as cool as that? It's just Ace Rodgers.
They call me Mississippi Mullet.
Oh, is that because of your hairstyle?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, there you go. Mississippi Mullet, the cornhole champion. Well, we're wishing you the best, and we'll keep up with you, all right?
Thank you.
All righty. There you go. Pretty cool. Freshman in high school, top 27th in the world in his sport of choice, with just cornhole. If you've ever played a game of cornhole in the backyard or tailgating, it's one of those that sneaks up on you because you may get like beginner's luck and nail one or two, and then it can quickly go downhill fast. And then you're like, well, what happened to all my skills? Where did they